Hey guys, I'm home and I did figure out what's causing the turbo under boost condition. The weird thing about it is that it is an under boost condition. In most instances, something like this would be turbo over boost condition detected, but I guess, you know, different things like that could happen. As you can see, I have my vehicle directly behind me. I'm trying to block the light, that way it's really not messing up the video. But guys, I started hunting when I came home, and I kind of figured, you know, I could just make a separate video how to replace the turbo actuator. What is important is how to diagnose it and how to find out, like, if it's actually turbo actuator or maybe it's something else. In this case, it's a little bit of both. We have a turbo actuator problem. We also have turbo resonator problem. And yes, this still has the plastic resonator. My milli-mile Sprinter has the metal type of resonator. This has a plastic one. Therefore, this problem is a little bit more apparent, and possibly why I eliminated having this problem to begin with on my milli-mile Sprinter, because from the beginning, I installed a metal lifetime resonator and I was done worrying about it. So now I'm gonna have to go on the hunt and find a resonator that I could use from one of my Sprinters. Hopefully, one of them has a metal one. I think I might have a metal one over there somewhere. If not, I'll probably just end up using a plastic one. I hate to go to my milli-mile Sprinter and pull parts. But anyways, here's what I have discovered. First of all, I was right about the turbo resonator. I mean, a turbo actuator. Because sometimes those arms get a little stuck. Now, the turbo actuator arm was a little bit stuck on there. There's a C-clamp, and somehow it gets welded on there with rust. I don't know why rust happens there, but in my case, it's happening. So rust is kind of like a disease. So it sticks it on there. So I haven't been driving it for 2 months. So anytime you park your diesel and you haven't been driving for 2 months, expect trouble, because these diesels, they hate to sit, guys. So if you're buying a diesel Sprinter that's been sitting for a year and somebody claims they haven't been driving it, I don't know, stay away unless they're selling it for a good deal. Because, man, like, as soon as you're gonna start driving, you're gonna realize all kinds of issues, and I don't want you guys to go through that, because a lot of them is headaches. So anyways, let's get to the turbo actuator. Why was I right? Okay, now the leg was a little bit stuck, okay, but I kind of figured, you know, I'm like listening to how it's working, and I'm like, why is it doing this metally rattly type of thing? This is kind of weird. I'm thinking, is this saying you have these shrouds over here and stuff like that? Turns out it wasn't, but the engine wasn't hot at the time yet. So I grabbed my little turbo lever, and I just was like, I held it right there, like where the turbo actuator lever comes up into the turbo. I just held it there, and the noise has disappeared. And turns out it was rattling, and I'm thinking, okay, that's weird. Why should this leg make this kind of noise? But then when I started removing the turbo actuator itself, I realized, guys, like it loosened itself. Like, really, it loosened itself. And here's the thing, I only used 2 bolts, okay? You're supposed to use 3 bolts. One of them is a longer bolt. Then there's, you know, 2 short bolts. The reason I only used 2, because last time when I was diagnosing a problem, for some reason I could not get this replacement turbo actuator to work with mine. And now I actually put a replacement one in there from this original turbo, by the way. And this original turbo actuator does have the 3 places for the bolts, and it's all good. I could use that. I have all the bolts, I have all the pieces, but the problem is with the old turbo actuator, one of the bolts I needed to drill it out, and I was just lazy, and I just got done fixing all this stuff. I needed to go back to work, and I'm thinking, man, I'll just leave it for the next time. Okay, so driving, I don't know, about 30,000 miles probably since then, or maybe a little bit more, it loosened up. So it wasn't like right away, but it did loosen up nonetheless. And so that was possibly causing some problems, but not quite. These Sprinters, sometimes they give you all kinds of other trouble. So that piece was already kind of loose. I guess the turbo actuator was controlling it, and I noticed at times when it kicked the code, it took a little longer. So that was kind of interesting. So okay, moving on. You know, I replaced the turbo actuator. I put my other leg on there just to make sure everything's working correctly, because the other leg was controlling fine. So I've removed the C-clamp, I replaced it, popped a new one in there. You would think I would use 3 bolts. No, I only use 2 because I'm still kind of like in a testing phase. I'm thinking, what if I need to pull the turbo off? You know, let's see if this even works, because last time I could not get this electronic part to work with my turbo, and it was just weird because, well, and last time I was throwing a curveball at me because my turbo was actually damaged. The turbo vanes, to be precise, in case you guys never heard of this before, there's turbo vanes. They basically open up, and that's actually what the turbo actuator controls. The more boost you need, it opens up a little more, it closes them and stuff like that, and it's all regulated with the computer and stuff, and it works smoothly when things are working smoothly. But of course, things don't always work smoothly, right? So anyways, moving on, I started test driving it. Immediately, as soon as I deleted the code, I got a code again, and guess what? I'm getting the evap code again on the Dodge scan tool. On the generic one, I'm getting the turbo under boost condition, basically. So I'm kind of thinking, okay, that's weird. Like, it's popping right away. And also there's an EGR thing. It's EGR glowing in red as well. It's not throwing EGR code, but I'm thinking, is this still somehow EGR? I don't know, but I'm already ready to pull the EGR off, ready to pull the turbo off. But anyways, I always think, so here's what I started observing. I'm thinking, listen, I still got an old turbo actuator. A turbo resonator. Why hasn't it failed yet? And I don't know why hasn't it failed. And I'm kind of thinking, that's okay. That's worth taking a look at. And then I noticed, as soon as my code kicks, right? I'm like in plus before it kicks, when I'm accelerating to about like 60 miles an hour. I hear like more hissing than normal. Like I hear like just hiss, like it's hissing like crazy. And I'm like thinking, okay, that sounds like a turbo actuator. A turbo resonator to me. So let's go home and see if we could find a leak. Guess what, guys? I found it. As I always told you guys with the turbo resonators, if you guys watch some of my, like some of the other videos, like from season 1, season 2. Right now we're in season 3, and I'm getting ready to shoot season 4 with a brand new Sprinter right there. Well, not brand new, it's 2012, but we're gonna shoot a whole new episode with that one to try to actually help you figure out that Sprinter. At least, how to remove parts, how to diagnose where things are and whatnot. I'm gonna make a very good series on that one. I'll be a little bit more professional, but I'll still be myself, because I think it's important to be yourself and to do you. And that's actually what I do, and it works for me, and you guys like it, so, we're okay. But it's kind of funny, every time I post a video, I don't care what kind of video it is, good video, bad video, well, they're all good considered to me. I always get that one person that hits a dislike, and I'm thinking, that is like so funny. One person is always disliking. It's so weird. Every once in a while there's 2, but there's always that one dislike, which is kind of weird. It seems like somebody's just wasting their own time. They'll watch my video and just hit the dislike. But thank you for at least watching the video, right? Okay, so moving on. But it's not gonna stop me from continuing helping you guys, because I'm a kind person. I think everybody's kind in their heart, and we all need help, and I'm willing to help you guys. But anyways, guys, I found a leak, and in the next video I'm going to make a video how to spot a turbo resonator leak, because for this one, let's call it solved. I at least know where it is. I went from the evap codes to cylinder 10, low voltage, also with the AGR code, which we're messing with the AGR in other videos, all the way to the turbo under boost condition, to messing with the turbo resonator, almost messing with the turbo itself, and now we got the turbo resonator issue. So let's go ahead, and I'm gonna make a video. In the next video I'm gonna show you right now what it looks like, and I'm gonna tell you how it could be fixed and stuff like that. But anyways, guys, if you like this video, please hit a like. If you enjoy this kind of stuff, let me know. And I know what you're gonna say, please keep your videos shorter. But guys, that is coming, believe it. I am actually going to start making shorter videos, but that's going to be the videos, like hopefully like how to remove stuff, like I'm gonna try to speed things up. But here's the thing, some of these videos, I would not want them to be ripped apart, like if I was watching it, because you want to know everything in one video. If you're messing with a turbo resonator, you're like, a turbo actuator, you're like, listen, what's the causes of turbo actuator. I want to know everything about it, like what is this code, and I want to just give it to you guys in one. I think that's important, and I've noticed guys that's been doing that. I actually like those videos a little bit more too, that take like, I don't know, like a whole project and they'll stick it like all into one. Unfortunately, that's not always possible. A lot of times, you know, we got the time constraints, and plus I'm doing something else. And as you can tell, my commercial lighting is on, and I'm kind of messing with it because I just recently came out here and I started messing with it, guys. I always do something else. As you can see, I'm always traveling, I'm always doing stuff, I'm always having, you know, I don't know, like my own time that I'm spending, guys. And, you know, everything takes time. So I make time for this because I must. But guys, before we leave here, I want you to know, man, I'll be making a lot of Sprinter videos, guys. Get ready for like lots of Sprinter videos, especially when I